IHES 350. This is your special test that would be would record them so you have a good knowledge of the test, and so you'll be prepared for your test on Thursday, your practical part of your test. So I'm just going to go through some of the or all of the special tests that you're going to be responsible for. You may not have to do all of them, but you will have to know them because you don't know what I'm going to ask you, right? All right, so the first one is going to be the empty can special test. That's a test for the supraspinatus tear. So you're going to have your model stand up. All right, and model, I'm going to have you bring your arms here. All right, just bring it in some. Thumbs down. Remember to turn the can down, empty your can, and I'm going to go here at a 45-degree angle. I'm going to be pushed out against my hand. All right, it's a positive sign if they got pain in the supraspinatus region. All right, that's the supraspinatus, or I'm sorry, that's the empty can test, testing for the supraspinatus. The next special test is going to be the Yergesen special test, which is test for the biceps tendon or biceps tendonitis. Remember, you're going to have to palpate where the biceps tendon is. I can feel it right here. All we're going to do here is going to have them flex the elbow. All right, and we're going to, one easy way to do it is I'm going to have him act like he's shaking my hand. All right, I'm sorry, not shaking my hand. Actually, he's opening up the door and abduction at the same time. So you're here and here. Now, if you want, you can just have them supinate, then abduct. But I like to do it like this, here, here, palpating the biceps tendon. I'm going to have you supinate and abduct at the same time. All right, so again, this time I want you to, as far as you can, I want you to supinate your arm, other way. All right, just like so. And I'm palpating this biceps tendon to see if there's any pain at that point. The next one is going to be the near special test. I'm going to have the athlete seated. And I'm going to put my hand here. I'm going to I'm going to go ahead and bring his thumbs down. And I'm going to passively bring the hand or the arm into full flexion, keeping it straight all the way near I always say the ear, near your ear. That's the way I remember it, near the ear. And that's going to be checking for subacromial pain. All right. The next one is going to be called the O'Brien special test. This is sort of like the empty can. Stand up for me. Well, the difference is here, instead of being here at a 45-degree angle, I want you to bring all the way here, arms all the way in, and I want you to thumbs down. And instead of going out in abduction, I'm just going to, if I'm testing this arm here, I'm just going to have them relax, relax. Here, here. All right, I want you to go straight up. You see how the thumbs are down? I'll be checking for that. Thumbs got to be down, and you're going to go straight up into flexion. That's going to check for slap lesions. All right. And the next one is going to be the Sulkenstein. This test for the AC sprain. All right. So what I want you to do here is expose the AC. Okay. Find the AC because everybody knows how to find it. Remember, you go to the clavicle with the acromion. Okay. As they connect. All right. Right there. There's the AC. I'm going to have him keep this arm there at this angle. All right. And all I'm going to do is distract. I'm going to pull down. I'm going to find the AC. I'm going to pull down. And what should happen, if there is a AC separation, what will happen is the AC, the humerus, you start to see separate from the clavicle. All right, or the acromion, I should say. The acromion should separate from the clavicle, and they'll leave a big gap right there. All right. And the last but not least is the piano key. So again, the Sulkenstein is checking for AC separation. All right. The last one is going to be the piano key sign. So basically, all we're doing here is we're adding a little pressure here on the clavicle. All right, remember we're going to do that away from the initial fracture site. Okay, remember just like when we checked the percussion test and the squeeze test, especially the squeeze test, you want to go away from the fracture site at the beginning. So we're going to assume that there's a fracture right over here. So I'm not going to be a jerk and just apply pressure right there where the fracture site is. I'm just going to go away here. I'm going to press down, let go. Press down, let go. And what'll happen is you'll start to see some movement of the clavicle where if there's a true fracture, and the person's going to say that it hurts pretty bad. All right, so again, piano key. If there's a suspected fracture here, I'm going to go here. I'm going to press down a little bit. And what'll happen now is that clavicle will start to move. because there's a separation, there's a gap in between the two. All right, that's it. Hope this video helps. Make sure you look over this a few times and come to class prepared on Thursday. Talk to you then.